will be focusing on the basic exterior structure and laying a good foundation for the build. For every diorama, it's good to have an idea on the scale, designs, and decorations that you want to have for the build. That way you have a game plan in mind when you're making something. One of the best things about these builds is that I get to make what's on the other side of the buildings. You can always see what's on the front, but you can't always see what's on the back or on the sides. So I get to add that drama, I get to add those lore from the game and add it into the builds, and it makes it so much better. While I try to stay true to my plans that I make at the start, they're still rough and I adjust and make changes throughout the build as I see fit. We'll be basing this with XPS foam, it's a building material, and also with a little bit of cardboard. It's always nice to have a base whenever you're starting a project so that you get the scale right to what you want. I'm cutting the XPS foam with a hot wire knife. Make sure that you wear a respirator because this is very chemically nasty to your lungs, so respirators are a must. We're gonna get started on the cardboard exterior. I always like to use cardboard because it's easy to use, it's cheap, and I recycle all of it. So this is really kind of looking at the size of the base, making sure the width of the trailer is the right size, because if it's too wide, then Pam and Penny's gonna be floating off the river, and we don't want that. Off this top layer of cardboard so it reveals that corrugation, and you notice how the corrugation is up and down. This is to make it flex so that we can hot glue around and make a nice make the edges really nice and round for this trailer. And I just trim this up to make it nice and close. So now I'm filling up the corrugation edges of the cardboard with air dry clay. This is DOS clay that I got from Michael's, and it air dries on its own. It's really nice to work with. It works well with water. If it gets too dry, you can water it up, and you can even smooth it out with your finger. This is one of the best things that I use for this build to make it feel more like an actual trailer than just cardboard. So one of the things that I wanted to add in this build in the back is a window seat for Pam. When you walk into the room, there's a little bump out where her seat is. So I wanted to have a window seat in the back, even though that's not typically standard for a trailer. In my head canon, she asks Robin to build this onto her trailer for her at some point, probably so that she could sleep on the window seat, but this was a fun little addition to make. So now I'm starting to go in and cutting the windows out of the cardboard. This is one of the reasons why I really like working with cardboard, is just you can just go in and remove the windows where you want, and just making sure that it's the right size and getting it all of that cut out where you need. I'm also going to slightly inset the front door just so that it doesn't look like it's flat, and adding in a inset trailer hatch on the roof. I am adding in the trailer wheels. These are recycled stock bottle caps or broth, and so this makes great wheels when we're painting these black later. I'm also making the back of it cardboard so that they don't have that bottle cap look when we attach it. So I decided that I kind of wanted to inset these into the box instead of just having them straight plopped onto the box. The tool you see that I'm using besides the hobby knife is it's blue tipped. That's actually a silicone crafting tool. It's often used with clay, but I find it really nice to work with hot glue so that I don't burn myself, because hot glue is hot. If you've ever come to my stream, I've probably burnt myself with hot glue at one point. So now I decided to add in some lore that I didn't plan initially. I wanted to add an air conditioner unit to Penny's room. Now I'm adding in some final decoration elements to the top of the build to give us this final shape of the base. We'll be modifying this later on in future streams. And I hope to see you later. Stay crafty.